was shocked how much Moses was mentioned. Musa.
In many parts of the world, Islam is often portrayed as something outdated, some even associated with ignorance or lack of education. But here's something that rarely gets discussed. Every year, highly educated people, including doctors, professors, scientists, and public figures, choose to become Muslim. Why? Many people assume that Muslims believe what they believe simply because they were born into Muslim families, and they didn't know any better. But many converts don't fit that description at all. Some spent years in universities. Some built successful careers. Some had already formed strong opinions about Islam before they ever opened the Quran. Although their backgrounds were completely different, many of them describe a surprisingly similar journey. They weren't looking for a new culture. They weren't trying to rebel against society. Most of them were simply looking for answers. Questions about purpose, morality, the existence of God.
You know, sometimes you question yourself in life about everything. Why something happened to me, why is this, why is that, you know, and I think Islam gives me this guide, you know, the Quran gives me a guide of who to be and why you are here in life.
And whether life has meaning beyond what we can see. Interestingly, many of them didn't begin by trying to become Muslim. Some started by criticizing Islam.
Then I finally had the time to fulfill a long-held desire, and it was writing my anti-Islam book, because in the Freedom Party, Geert Wilders, he was, so to say, the poster boy of the anti-Islam movement. And he was the guy who wrote the books. But it was always like very superficial. It was always like the one-liners you have to sell for the news, etc. So I said, no, I want a real book with like an academic explanation of why we think Islam is a real danger. And that's how it started. And then I started writing my anti-Islam book. But of course, it ended up with me becoming a Muslim. And then I started reading about his life of the Prophet, and I saw him for the first time as a man, and as a father, and a husband, and a teacher, and it was like a complete new person for me. And so, well, this is very inspiring.
Others only wanted to understand what Muslims actually believed. But as they continued reading and asking questions, they often discovered that reality was very different from the image they had been given. Of course, not every educated person becomes Muslim. Intelligence alone doesn't determine what someone believes. But one thing is difficult to ignore. People from completely different countries, different cultures, and different professions often describe remarkably similar reasons for embracing Islam.
You know, I loved the simplicity. The Quran is so clear, so crystal clear. You know, it's like it's hard to walk away with, you know, a misunderstanding. I was shocked how much Moses was mentioned. Musa, you know.
You don't have to agree with their conclusion. But perhaps it's worth asking why people with very different backgrounds often arrive at the same destination. Maybe that's a story worth understanding before judging.